What's up, everybody? This is John with the Unpaid Gamers with another Car Thoughts video for you. I am on my way back from Lexington. Had a job there this morning. A little bit of a drive. It's not too bad. It's like an hour from Louisville. But the po-pos are out today, that's for sure. It's like a 5-mile stretch. And I swear I've seen like 4 or 5 cops have people pulled over. I guess first of the month they're getting them numbers up. But it's kind of funny. I enjoyed one part because this guy came up on me and I like moved over, let him pass me, and then I watched him get chased down by the police and get pulled over. And then I guess he caught back up to me at some point because I seen the same car again. And he was like weaving all over the road and stuff. I was kind of hoping I'd see him get pulled over again. That's the kind of neighborly love I have, I guess. But I don't know. Drive like an idiot. I don't mind seeing you pulled over. So anyway, it's my adventures this morning. We're fresh off of Halloween, so I hope everybody had a good Halloween. I know there was a stream last night of the final Spooktacular from Tom. What was it? Outlast 2, that's what he streamed. So check that out if you haven't seen it. And I think he's going into, I don't know if it's going to be immediate or not, but he's going into some other things that he wants to start streaming now, I believe. I think like a sci-fi week or something. And he's got that game he's playing, Tiny Tina's Wonderland. I think he wants to show off. So he's got some plans there. We gave away candy to some tricks-or-treaters yesterday, and we didn't get a whole lot. We got some enough to want to stick around again next year. We kind of mix things up usually, and we'll be somewhere else for Halloween, or have some kind of plan or party or something, I guess. But I don't know. We stuck around the house this year and had a fairly decent amount of kids come. So I like giving out candy and seeing all the costumes and stuff. So whatever you did last night, I hope you had a good Halloween. Favorite time of year. And you would think, though, that I would love Halloween itself, and I do. But like it's always kind of like feels like a Sunday to me. Like, I love the spooky season, and then it's like, okay, here's Halloween, like tomorrow's November 1st. Like there's always like an underlining something to it. But I still of course love Halloween. I'm sad it's over. Today's Day of the Dead, so there's that, I guess. And beyond that, it's 364 days until next Halloween. So got that to look forward to. There's people driving with their mask beside me. That's always fun to see. Anyway, today's video, what am I going to talk about? I kind of don't know. I think, actually, I'm going to talk about Call of Duty, I suppose. So, the new Modern Warfare 2 came out. I haven't played the campaign. I haven't really played any of it, except for the multiplayer. And it's kind of funny because, some years I don't care anything about the multiplayer. Some years, I don't know. It's just kind of what I'm in the mood for. And I don't know. I'm not a big annual Call of Duty person. I've skipped out on quite a few upon release. I didn't get World War II because I'm sick of like the dated stuff, I guess, like that. The time period stuff. How many times do we have to play World War I and II in games? And I mean, there's a lot of fun stuff to be had there, but I'm just over it. I'm ready for more modern day stuff again, or something like that. So the last one was it Vanguard? Cold War. That's what it was, right? Cold War, I think. I did get that one. Because it was, PS5 came out, and it sold me because of the adaptive trigger stuff on the PS5. You know, all the guns feel different, the triggers feel different, and they're able to do that. So I was like, oh, that's really cool. So I'm going to check that out. So I'd got that, and I played it like just a little bit. I skipped out on Vanguard, but I really liked the reboot they did of Modern Warfare. So Modern Warfare 2, of course, this next reboot, second time around for Modern Warfare 2. I knew my son was getting it, and we had fun with the last one, so I planned on just getting this, and had some credits to use from Best Buy anyway. So, you know, always kind of a disclaimer nowadays is that, you know, I get so many credits and stuff to use up from Amazon and Best Buy with business stuff, and I just use them on that. So a lot of these games I get for free, and I don't mean it in like a bragging way at all, but it's just, I feel like I try to really not let that alter my impression or perspective on games, but I don't see how it cannot. You know, when you don't actually pay for it, it changes the value of it as much as you wouldn't intentionally let that happen. So, you know, I don't really feel the need to get my money's worth, right? Because it didn't cost me anything. So I can just kind of try to enjoy it for what it is. So I kind of like to put that out there more these days. You know, same principle as getting a review code, I suppose. Like, you know, of course I could use those credits for anything, but that's just how I use them, and it's been working out well. But you know, review codes the same way. You know, when we don't really do so much of that anymore, because we don't really review games anymore. But years ago, we did much more of an active website kind of thing and reviewed games, and we would get sent all kinds of review codes, and I don't know, I never felt like I got too spoiled by it. Like, I felt like I appreciated it and kind of tried to maintain perspective, but still, you know, I don't see, looking at it now, like, I don't see when you get a free game how it cannot affect your perception of it. So anyway, so I have Modern Warfare 2. Let's move on. The only thing I played of it so far is the multiplayer. I haven't dove into the campaign or anything, and you know, they released that early, and I feel like a lot of people's checked that out. I'm sure a lot of people's checked out the multiplayer too, but so far so good. I like it. I don't really know, I'm not familiar with the maps, I haven't played it enough. Like, some of them I kind of know the layout. I don't know if it's the skill-based matchmaking or muscle memory from just playing it for so many years, but I really did pretty good in most of the matches I played, which of course, not like you gotta win to have a good time, but it helps. If you're doing well, you know, it's gonna be more enjoyable, I think. So I did pretty good in most of the matches, and had a good time. I haven't done like the ground war or any of those larger modes. I just haven't felt like getting into some of that stuff. So I just did quick play, just playing through, you know, just random multiplayer matches, and I had a really good time with it. It feels good, like it always does. You know, I kind of feel like it also doesn't do much new either. Some things are kind of different, but they're always kind of small, and a lot of people shit on Call of Duty for that. I kind of have, I think, before too, but you know, anymore, you got to kind of look at it like these games, like it's almost like Madden and NBA 2K and stuff like that. Like, it's the latest iteration, it's a winning formula, so they're not going to mix it up too much. And this is like a very solid experience, so it's just kind of the latest tech behind that, right? Now, I think the Call of Duty may end up changing a little bit with the Microsoft acquisition, and they're definitely not going to release one next year, they've already said. So we're probably going to see that development cycle change a little bit, and who knows how that's going to impact the gameplay. But for the longest time now, that's what Call of Duty kind of feels like to me. Is it's just kind of the latest greatest thing. Like, it's not. I don't know that it's always a showcase title. Maybe some of the campaign set pieces and stuff fill that void. Again, I don't know in this specific case because I haven't played that part. But in a general sense, that's typically kind of how it is. Like, some of those look very good and can kind of use to showcase graphics and whatever. But for the most part, they're just good gameplay experiences, and they're just always a lot of fun. I think it can get very monotonous and boring after so many years of doing the exact same thing and it feeling the same. But I don't know. For me, I feel like whether you buy them or not, because oftentimes I won't get them at launch, and I'll just get them when they go on sale or something, just to kind of have them in my collection. Because I will go back and play the campaigns and stuff a lot, but I'm not always actively playing them. And and there's a couple of reasons for that. One is I just hate the gaming community now, in a general sense. Not everybody, and not every game or anything, but it's so toxic, and it's so there's so many kids playing games, and if you're a kid, that's all good. I'm not hating on anybody playing. It's just like, it's a different culture than what I enjoyed playing through, and what I kind of came up playing when online multiplayer and stuff started. And now it's so it seems like it's so full of exploits and just, I guess that's the right word, just exploiting the game, trying to conquer the game, trying to find the loopholes, trying to find just the right combination to have this weird success rate, right? Like, not even like what works for you. It's like, okay, this gun with this unorthodox something that causes this unforeseen effect that can somehow cheat the game, and your kill percentage goes through the roof. Like, I'm so sick of that kind of thing. And I don't know, it just, I hate it. I hate the culture around that scenario. Like back when multiplayer kind of first started, of course it was, split screen, and there was no online multiplayer so much. You would have Counter-Strike back in the day over dial-up, and that was pretty doable. But it just wasn't what it is now, And kind of the birth of that, you would see snipers, and you would see, not every game really had sniper rifles so much, but you would kind of see that here and there, but a lot of people just were down in the action. And I don't know, there wasn't, like, if people had a sniper rifle, they were playing like a sniper. They weren't running around and no-scoping people, or just using a sniper rifle like an assault rifle. And I don't know, like, you had your class and your role, and you played your role, not just played to conquer, right? And I don't know, it gets so annoying to me, so much of this stuff. And like the effects of that are still seen. Like, so many matches I can get in on these games, like the objective-based matches, whether it's the hostage one, I forget, I don't know if it's just called hostage or what, but you got to carry a hostage from point A to point B while surviving, or capture points or whatever. And I just see so many people, like, they're still out for the kills in those modes. Like, they're not playing the objectives and having kills as a side effect, or to obtain those goals. It's just purely just still out for the kills, no matter what the mode is. And I know not everybody plays that way, but it's oftentimes that's the case, and it's very annoying to not. I feel like they're not playing the games like how they're intended to be played. And it's your game. Like, you should enjoy it the way you want. I understand that point of view too, but I find it much more enjoying personally kind of trying to play these games how they're meant to be played. And if you're playing a sniper, it's called camping now, right? If you're playing a sniper, though, hole up somewhere and try to do that stuff. But it's just, there's so many snipers in a lot of those games now, and they run around as well. And I don't know, that gets very annoying when you can't hardly move around as much without getting sniped everywhere you turn. And there's been some really tough entries that way. I haven't had so much of that terrible experience in this one so far. I encounter a sniper every now and again. I get no-scoped every now and again. Quick scoped, whatever term or method you want to use. They both suck. You'll get sniped for the most part, but I haven't really seen these maps being infested with snipers so much in this installation. So no matter what that reason is, I don't know, but it seems okay so far. It may change the more people play it, learn the maps, figure out that stuff. We may see more of that kind of thing, and that's a bummer to me. But I don't know. I just, a lot of those experiences throughout the years, to see the decline of how fun some of those games used to be to what they evolved into being, and how not as much fun as they are now. For some of those, it bums me out, and it's definitely ruined a lot of experiences for certain games. So I'm a little jaded in that sense now, and I would like to not be that way. So every now and again I jump back in and try to have a fresh experience, and it's hard. I see remnants of some of those issues in games, and those games frequently try things to balance out those stuff. So I don't know. So far, again, it's mostly okay with that. I don't want to ramble about that thing, but I don't know. It's a love-hate with online gaming for me. I feel that I've spoken on it many times of how I feel the toxicity of the gaming community ruins so much stuff. And Call of Duty is right in the center of that, right? Because it's still the biggest, if it's not the biggest, it's one of the biggest now, of multiplayer games, and definitely shooters. It's been the king of multiplayer shooters for a long, long time. And there's alternatives, but it's Call of Duty is it's Call of Duty, right? It's funny, I remember when the second one came out, and obviously it started, not with Call of Duty 2, but I kind of don't remember the original Call of Duty. Oh man, how about that yawn? I remember really kind of getting into it with Call of Duty 2 for PC, and I had it for Xbox, and it was much more. You would have the historical type of moments and experiences, and it would bounce around. This soldier at this time, and they had this experience around this battle, and then you'd play through that, and then it would jump to the next soldier and have this experience. It was very pocketed in that sense, and I'm sure it had multiplayer, but it wasn't, at least with me and my circle of people that around that, it wasn't really about that. It was more about just the campaign and stuff. And 3 was very much the same way, and then it started to evolve, and it seems like I remember it kind of starting to evolve with the zombie mode, and then of course I feel like multiplayer kind of came after that as far as popularity goes. But it seemed like most of the people that I knew, they really started getting into the zombie mode, which was pretty cool. And it was very basic at the time. It was just kind of a survival horde mode in a sense. You know, you could just board up the windows and horde off waves and stuff, and you could unlock new areas. But that was kind of like the extent of it, I'm pretty sure. I mean, unless I'm just missing out on a lot of stuff back then. Definitely not what it is now. It's evolved into this whole, like, every zombie mode has its story experience, and all these unlocks and objectives that you got to do. And I remember, like, the last one I played with my son, it was like, I don't even know what's going on, truthfully. I feel old and out of touch. But it was not the experience that I knew. And he had these mini boss battles and stuff, and I mean, it was cool. It was just so complex to what it used to be. And that's really how Call of Duty feels to me in general now. Like, seeing that evolution over time, it's so much more complex than what it used to be. I do think this Modern Warfare 2, I think the interface is terrible. You load up and there's so much going on. Like, it took me a minute to just kind of get, okay, you hit this button and it brings up this menu. You hit this button and it brings up this menu. There's shit all over the screen. Like, just to get your bearings on that stuff. I don't like the interface at all. I mean, I'm not crapping on it for having so many features at all. It's just that interface is terrible. And for me, as a more casual Call of Duty player, it can feel overwhelming to get a grasp on, like, the new features and stuff. The old features that has been in previous iterations that I haven't played, things like that, etc. So just to get your bearings can take a bit and can be a little daunting sometimes. And with a terrible interface, it's even worse. So, but I hate the interface overall, though. The multiplayer stuff's really cool. The new gunsmith mode is really neat. That's gotten so much more in depth than what it used to be. You can change out so many parts, not just sights and stocks and magazines and stuff. Of course, it still has all the camo stuff. It has like the charms and all that stuff that you can unlock and add and stuff. You can change out receivers, which kind of changes the gun entirely. You unlock as you go, and this is for like every gun too. It's so advanced, the gun customization stuff in there. So I think that's really neat. I like I didn't play Vanguard, so I don't know if it's much like that, but the perk system is different. It's got like kind of live unlockable perks as you go, so you kind of pick like 2 perks to start out with, and then as you play, you unlock like an additional perk, and then like a 4th perk as well. And you can change all those out, but like just to start, you have 2, and then you get more as you go. So like that's neat. It's something different. I still kind of like the old days of just picking your perks and you go, but I'm fine with them trying something different. The kill streaks, there's a ton of those to pick from, and one of my favorite things, I don't know if this is new or not, but it's got a little toggle switch, and you can have kill streaks, or you can turn it on and do score streaks instead. And I remember when they made that switch, I think it was way back in like the first Modern Warfare 3. You didn't have the option. It was just, we're going to score streaks now, not kill streaks. And that's a pretty neat shift. And it's cool for somebody like me, because I like to try to play the objectives and to play the modes how they're meant to be played. So, I'm not always getting all these kills. I'm capturing flags and doing stuff. So, like, as I'm gaining points in the match, because you can finish out the match and have 1 or 2 kills, but still get first place on your team because you're doing the objectives and you're playing it this way, So I just try to play that role instead of just going after kills. So for me, that switch is very cool, that you can just change it to score streaks. Now, if you feel differently, you can leave it as kill streaks and get your kills and unlock your stuff that way. I just think it's so cool to have that option to switch back and forth, because in my experience, they've made that switch for us, but it's never been an option to pick between the two. So I think that's really cool. You have like your, I forget what they call it, but your kind of special ability that you can swap in there as well. Whether it's deployable cover, or they got like this adrenaline boost thing you can do. There's a bunch of those kind of things that you can have, you can gain in match as well. It's just very solid. The gameplay feels very solid. Tons of options in the multiplayer. And this is not, I know there's like a Spec Ops mode. I haven't checked that out. There's the campaign mode. Warzone 2 is going to launch here soon, which is their free-to-play, kind of add-on multiplayer battle royale type of stuff. Well, I'm sure everybody knows what Warzone is anyway, but that's launching like mid-November. So there's a lot of content to be had for Call of Duty fans, it seems. Now, if you're burnt out on Call of Duty and or just don't want to pay the money for the same old thing, I don't know. It probably will feel the same and not worth it, because there's just not a lot different there. It's the same Call of Duty experience, just with some new features or new ways of doing things. But if you like that and you enjoy that experience, then it's going to be a good time for you for sure. So far I'm having fun with it. I had a few long nights playing it. Look to play it a lot more. I'm also still playing Gotham Knights. I think I've found like the fun in that game now. Like I'm enjoying it. I had my complaints about it, but I found what I like about it, and I'm really having fun with it and enjoying being in that world. So I'm liking it for what it is. So I'm going back and forth right now between these two. We'll see how long that lasts, because I know God of War is coming out, and I don't want to dive into that. But I may try to hold off until I get a little farther into Gotham Knights at least, and before I dive into God of War. But I don't know. So many good games coming out, so many things to check out. I guess it's my first impressions on Call of Duty. Again, only just the multiplayer. Haven't had time to get much into anything else. But so far, it's extremely solid. If you like Call of Duty, you'll like that. There's not much in the way of destruction or anything like that. I've heard like some of the I think like Vanguard or something, it had a little bit of destruction to the environment and stuff, but this does not have any of that. It's just Call of Duty, no Battlefield Hybrid or anything. Those last Battlefields I just haven't enjoyed at all. So Call of Duty still at least feels like what it set out to be and what it's meant to be. So I can get way more enjoyment out of that than Battlefield these days. So anyway, that's my thoughts. Check it out or not. But again, I think if you like Call of Duty, it's a good solid entry to it. Modern warfare stuff, hence the name. But it's just modern setting, so I enjoy that quite a bit, and just feels good all around so far. So anyway, look out for more stuff coming from Tom, more stuff from me. Not sure what I'm going to stream next. I'm probably not going to be streaming Call of Duty, but I don't know, we'll see. I streamed part 2 of The Gallery, which is that full motion video game. It's kind of a story told across like a couple decades. Like one part of it's set in the 80s and one part set in modern day, and it's kind of the same story, but with roles reversed and new era and slightly different. I didn't really care for it. I like those games in general. I got it and played through the second part, even though the first part I thought was a snore fest, and this felt very much the same way. I just played through it to play through it. it's not very long. Like an initial playthrough is going to be an hour. There is multiple endings, multiple choices, and 2 halves to it. So bare bones experience is at least going to be 2 hours. I just not that impressed with it. The story was very bland to me. I don't know. I'm sure some people like it, but as a full motion video fan, I did not even really enjoy it that much. So on to the next. But I have lots of interesting things to check out and share. A lot of one-off kind of titles that I want to showcase or stream or check out myself, which means for the most part everybody else will see it because I'll likely stream it. And when I say one-off, it's like things that I don't really expect to take a ton of time. It's not part of a big franchise. It's like Inscription is one. It's a horror-based card game that I really want to check out. It was on sale, so I picked that up. I got a few just kind of odd games like that I want to explore and check out. So I'll be streaming that stuff. Not sure when or what'll be next, but keep an eye out because there will be things coming. So anyway, that's all I got. Until next time.